KelownaNow.com, and today I am with alt pop star from Vancouver, JP Maurice. How are you today?
I'm good.
I'm glad you're here.
It feels great to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the new EP you just put out, Girls. It's great. I've listened to it a number of times already. But I do find it's only 6 songs, but you take people on a lot of different musical avenues. Was that something that you intended? Was that a goal to sort of show your versatility?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry, what was the question?
Was it?
I've gone a lot of different musical genres. Sort
yeah.
of. I mean, the songs were recorded as a whole. With this is basically there's going to be a follow-up LP later in the spring or in the fall. It's called Boys, and that album has a little more cohesiveness in terms of like the style and genre of the songs. And I wanted to break it up into 2, so I kind of left this as being a little more piano ballad based and a little more rock and like dark. But these songs just sort of fit together a little bit better than the follow-up album. But I think I like to dabble in a lot of different genres and sounds, but I think this is probably actually my most like cohesive sound so far. But
nice.
Yeah.
I noticed particularly with the songs Go and Goodbye, they're one right after another, but they sound totally different, to me anyway. Was that something that you intentionally put them side by side for that reason?
I think like when you're designing a track order for an album, it's like much like a set list. You know, you're sort of going on your own impulses of like what you think is going to sort of be a nice sonic journey to take. But I mean, there's a lot of like sort of talks a lot about dichotomy and contrast on the album. Like the EP is called Girls, the album's called Boys, and Hello Goodbye talks about that, and there's Shapeshifter, another song that talks a lot about that as well. So I think kind of it's trying to show there's 2 sides to things, and sort of pulling it back and forth, I think is something I was trying to go for sure.
Right, and I know that you've spoken about how you constructed a majority of these songs with piano as opposed to guitar as you've done in the past. Was that sort of a play on showing the 2 different sides and the contrast, or why did you choose to go that route?
I think it sort of maybe influenced the direction that the music took, but in the past, definitely learned guitar was my main instrument growing up, and my main like songwriting tool, and became a partner in a recording studio in Vancouver last year that has a really nice old upright piano. So I just started playing it a lot and teaching myself my old songs on it, and which then led to me writing a lot on it. And a lot of my, I think, natural inclinations are when I'm writing or recording music is to go to that sort of rock, that side of things, because that's sort of how I started playing music and got into stuff, was by listening to rock and roll. So I'm always trying to be like, not go full guitars, balls to the wall all the time, sort of dial it back a bit.
Yeah. Well, it definitely, you can see the difference for sure, but it still sounds like you, which is nice. It has been a while, though, since you've released music, since your last album. Did you find that because you waited a fair bit, did you take a bit of a different approach when it came to creating Girls? Yeah,
I definitely, like we touched on before, and having a hard time kind of zoning in on like a sound or really what I wanted to do. I'm very aware of as a audience, it's hard for an audience to understand what you're trying to get across if you don't really know what it is at the same time. But I really just wanted to make sure I was making, the record that I wanted to make, and it was at a certain quality. So I started in Toronto 2 years ago, basically, in this sort of a process of like re-recording things, writing more songs, running from the Po. I think that course also took it in like I touched on before, becoming a partner in the studio was a really big part of that as well, sort of gain a new sort of creative freedom and liberation with that, and was able to sort of take more time to develop the songs and write more and sort of take that process further.
Nice. And I know that you have a few performances coming up here in Kelowna. Do you find that performing the songs off this album give you a different vibe than as opposed to your last one, or how do you like to portray them to an audience?
Yeah, I mean, that's always, it's being a solo artist, I mean, I play a lot, live a lot, but I don't have that luxury of being in a band where you can sort of work on songs and play them a lot and workshop them like that. So even though I play with the same guys pretty consistently, songs totally take on a different life, because you sort of make them in the studio and figure out the best way to portray them in that setting, and then when you play them in a bar or, you know, a theater or whatever, it just sounds different. You kind of have to give it a different energy. Like, we were rehearsing the other night and took one of the songs and like we're playing it completely different now because it just felt like a better way to perform the song. So.
Yeah. And I know that we were talking about earlier before the interview, you've played in a few bands, different instruments for other people, and you're also a solo artist. Do you find that having that skill set and being able to go into different avenues helps you in the BC music industry, or do you find that overall the industry is really supportive of musicians?
Yeah, I mean, in Vancouver, where we live, it's definitely a close-knit, sort of very supportive community. I feel like I'm a part of. The studio, Blue Light Studio, that I'm a part of is a part of that, and Music BC, and being in the Peak Performance Project. And there's a lot of bands we've meet for touring and over the years, which is why Fireside Sessions is going to be really cool on Sunday, because it's one of those sort of events where the community kind of comes together. But yeah, I think it's just like music's like any craft. It's like the more you work on it, the better you get at it, and the more that you can sort of push yourself to different avenues within that, it makes your palette gets bigger, and yeah, definitely informs the other aspects of your art that you're trying to develop.
Awesome. So I know we've talked about Boys, which is coming out. So I guess my question is, once you're done touring, promoting Girls, are you going to just dive right into that next project, or are you going to take some time to sort of get more inspiration, or how are you going to go about that?
Well, it's already finished. So all the songs are recorded at the same time, but there's 15 songs. So instead of releasing a 15-song album, decided to break it up into these two things. So yeah, don't have a release date set yet, but it's probably looking like May is sort of the idea, and if not May, it'll be into the fall, September. So.
Awesome. Well, you guys can look forward to that. JP will also be playing at Fireside Sessions on Sunday. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm becoming a great pretender. Now I cannot remember who I was before we met. I was nervous, you'd see right through me. My shape is shifting to sell this lie. Just an opportunist buried by his burdens, but heavy like a holy wine. Not myself, you got me feeling like I'm someone else. So let me be your shapeshifter. Whatever you need, whenever I'm with you. Now I'm ready to surrender, 'cause I know that nothing lasts forever. I was nervous you wouldn't like the real me. Thought you prefer my intricate disguise. So clueless, guess you're not as ruthless as the one I imagined in my mind. Ooh, not myself, you got me feeling like I'm someone else. Ooh, someone else. You got me feeling like I'm not myself. Ooh. So let me be your shapeshifter. Whatever you need, whenever I'm with you. I wanna be your shapeshifter. got me feeling like I'm someone else. I got a feeling like I'm not myself. Ooh, I'm not myself. You got me feeling like I'm someone else. Ooh, I'm not myself. You got me feeling like I'm not myself. So let me be your shapeshifter. Whoever you need whenever I'm with you. Ooh, I'm not myself. You got me feeling like I'm someone